Alright guys, so today I want to talk to you about why diets don't work and basically why you'll diet and then get fat straight away. But before we get started, I want to give a quick shout out to my sponsor, Zac Perna for sponsoring this video, and they'd like to leave you with a message as well, so I'll let that play. Thanks for that one, Zac. Hey guys, Zac Perna here, and I want to let you know about my brand new push-pull legs program that is now available at massivefam.com. So guys, if you want to get in the best shape of your life, get my free fat loss Bible, which is everything I know about fat loss into one PDF for free at the cheapest price it's ever going to be. Hit the link in my bio and sign up today. Now, I want to share with you some of my favorite transformations from the past.
Hi, I'm Harry Spotter, and I joined Dr. Zac's program on my first year of Hogwarts, and I'm proud to say that I've successfully outbenched Hagrid and threw Malfoy through a fucking wall. Thanks, Zac. I'm definitely signing up to your next program, and I can't stop these bitches from sliding into my DMs. Amazing.
I'm Bear Grylls, and not only have I managed to lose 10 kilos of body fat, I've also managed to lose my way around. There's literally no chance of survival out here unless I purchase his new program. He also led me to clean drinking water, and he taught me how to make a hammock out of just fish skin and banana leaves.
It's more than just about getting into the best physical shape possible, but Zac and I formed a bond, a connection if you will. We were able to take what you formerly know as a training split and revolutionize it into something more majestic, a push-pull leg. It's truly, truly magnificent. I was able to take my kids to school again and fit into my wedding dress.
What do I say, bro? No, not Kyle, Brad.
I got like real big on this, you know, like massive. But like, dude, what else do I say? Like, there's not much to it. I'm just jacked, bro. Like, I got jacked.
Together we worked on cardiovascular fitness, and now every time Georgie tries to run away, I can always catch him.
Just buy the damn plan. Okay guys, so now the reason why I'm making this video is because there have been so many times when in the past I've gone on a big diet phase, got as lean as I wanted to get, and it feels like straight away I just get even fatter than I was to begin with. And I see this so many times. I see it with a lot of you guys saying, you know, why is this happening? And I see it with just people in general with their diet, and then they just crazy yo-yo and they rebound straight away and they just think, oh, that was because of this, or that's because I had that holiday and that's what, you know, I've done it so many times. I mean, literally there's been times where I did my competition, my first comp, and I got stupidly lean, and then within a matter of 3 weeks I put on so much body fat and I thought, nah, it can't be body fat, it's got to be water, and it was body fat. So it's like, and I was astounded, I didn't really know why, because I thought I'm having a few meals like here and there, and then all of a sudden that just led into a bulk, because I'm like, it. I'm already that fat, I may as well just bulk. And that's happened so many times with me. Like I've even been on holidays, and because I dieted up leading up to that, I thought, well, I may as well diet to create a buffer so I can put on a bit of body fat. But what was happening was, as I diet, go over there, eat like a pig, or just eat different food and, you know, calorie dense food, and I'd come back so fat. It's a bit of a mystery and you might be a bit perplexed as to why this happens, but we're gonna go into it now. So the best way to explain this is to explain what happens during a cut. So when you're in a cutting phase, your body is getting really good at like functioning on lower calories. So it's survival essentially. So it's like you're bringing your calories down, and then physiologically your body goes, okay, cool, let's decrease leptin. Leptin's a fat burning hormone. So that will in turn increase ghrelin, which is your hunger. So if you think about it, you're eating low calories, then your fat burning hormones are going down. Then your cravings and hunger are increasing. So this is like at a physiological level. That's why after a while of dieting, you start to feel like you might plateau, you're getting lean, but you're feeling, you know, lack of energy, really hungry, and you don't feel like the same person. It's very different. And then mentally, like I said, those cravings are really hitting, like they're hitting quite hard, and then it's hard to adhere to a diet plan for a long time. You might be dieting for months. So then it gets to the point at the end of the diet where, one, your body is in survival, I don't want to say survival mode, because idiots throw that around like crazy, but that's the way that I conceptualize it, is like, if you are in the wild, why would you be in the wild? If you are like, say, caveman times, to make it simple, and you go through phases where, you know, shit's not in season, you can't just go down and pick some apples. So your calories are getting lower. So your body doesn't just die, all right? Otherwise you'd be dead, obviously. So what happens is your body adapts, and so it adapts by like fluctuating with these hormones, and so you become better and more efficient at using these lower calories. So you might have been eating 2,000 calories previously, now you're eating 1,000. You're not just going to wither away into nothing. Over time, you will plateau, and that's why the body plateaus, is to become more efficient at this. So it's the same as people who do a lot of activity during the day. Their body becomes more efficient, and their NEAT, which is their non-exercise activity, might go down to compensate for their increase in activity or decrease in calories. So I know that it's a little bit confusing, but it's like if you're eating less, your body goes, okay, we have less food coming in. We don't want to die, let's burn less. And that's kind of what happens. That's all you really need to know. So you're burning less and you're eating less. It sucks. All right, so that's what happens during a diet. Now, imagine that so your body is in a prime state to put on fat because it's efficient at those calories. So it's become efficient at 1,500 or 1,000 calories, let's just say. So what happens when you put 2,000 or 3,000 back in all of a sudden? It's efficient at using 1,000. It's going to store a lot of that as body fat. So that's what's happening here, is your body's in a state primed to put on fat because you've dieted, and you've just gone all out and tripled your intake. So obviously you're going to store a lot as body fat. Now, a lot of people like to use a post-diet phase as like a rebound because you like swell up from all the food, your training's really good. And I know it's very tempting because your body is so sensitive. So your body's very insulin sensitive at this point from low calories, which means when you have carbs, your body utilizes them very well. But the thing is that it's also insulin sensitive to fat cells and muscle cells. So for example, you eat carbs, your body converts it to sugars, and you're really good at putting those sugars away into muscle cells and fat cells. So that's why after a diet as well, you're very insulin sensitive, even in your fat cells. It sucks, I know. But that's why you get those really good pumps. So you can put on muscle because you're insulin sensitive, like intramuscularly, but you're also, you can put on body fat too. But the main issue is the increase in calories. So people will just increase stupidly. I mean, I did it all the time. You'll put a number and put a date on a dieting phase and then go, as soon as I hit that point, I'm done. And then when you hit that point, you think, usually I know for like with me, I don't care about having abs anymore. If it's at that point at the end of the diet where I just think I can't be fucked feeling like death, give me some food, let me feel human again. I don't care about what I look like. I know that feel. So what happens is people end up like binging and pigging out, and then it's all of a sudden they get too fat, then they think, holy shit, I look like a pig. I used to look good, so like 2 weeks ago, I need to reel it back in, they start dieting again. And so what happens is now they're dieting again, say after 3 or 4 weeks, maybe 2 weeks of binging and putting on body fat, because you can put on a lot of body fat if you want to in a week or two. I mean, if I really wanted to, after a diet, I could put on, I reckon, maybe 10 kilos in a matter of a month, I would say. A lot of that's obviously water and stuff, but my body sucks in that sense. So people can do this, okay? Let's say after a few weeks, you start dieting again. Now, your body hasn't recovered from your first diet. You still have a high propensity to store body fat, and you are dieting yet again. So this is what's happening is I haven't even mentioned the word metabolism, but that's what I'm describing here is the metabolism and its efficiency and the slowdown. So let's say you're dieting, the first diet, your metabolism is adapting, it's becoming more efficient, it's slowing down. Now you eat like a pig for 2 weeks, you've got a very high propensity to store body fat, you get fat after 2 weeks, and then you think, let's diet again, still with a shit metabolism, so it's still slow. Now your calories will get even lower, you're gonna start feeling like hell again, and you can lose muscle. So I've done this for a long time. In fact, I went through a phase back in my early food challenge videos where I would diet for like 6 days of the week, and because I wanted to get the content and I wanted to do these challenges and different videos, I would do like the cheat day on the 7th day, and then I would diet again. And I was so unhappy with my physique that I just kept dieting for months and months on end. Maybe a year, literally, it was a year. And then I noticed at one point I was like, whoa, I have lost, I'm literally looking my worst. I was so much bigger and leaner 2 years ago. And it's because I was literally dieting and yo-yo dieting the whole time. So constantly my body was getting worse. Now that was me. And it can happen to a lot of you as well. If you're doing this yo-yo diet where you constantly feel inadequate, then you binge and then you have to diet again. And it's living in the short term because you're not looking about a year down the track when you're like skinnier and fatter than you currently are. It's like you need to look ahead, guys. You've got to look long term. So I'm going to talk to you about how to combat this. So the best way to do this is to implement what's called either a recovery or a reverse diet. So a recovery diet basically means that say you're at the end of a diet, your metabolism is in a pretty bad place. Let's get that back to normal as soon as possible. So what you want to do is increase straight away about 300 to 500 calories. All you want to do is get out of a deficit. So if you're eating 1500, bump it up to 2000 or 1900. It'll freak you out because your head's pretty cooked at that point, but it's important because your hormones need to return to normal again, and everything needs to return to normal. So that's why it's called recovery. Now this is a controlled process. So a lot of the guys, I mean, in my programs, any of my clients can switch from a cut to a bulk whenever they like. So if for example, they feel like they need to get out of a cut, they email me and we go sweet and we switch it up, and I will switch them over to a lean bulk. And I don't add in 50 calories and go, there you go. I literally add in 500 and they always go, are you sure? And I'm, yep, try it. Then they have it and they go, holy shit, I feel leaner, I'm so much bigger, I feel awesome. And it's literally because their metabolism is restoring back to normal again. They're not in a deficit, they're at maintenance. They're not gaining body fat, they're at maintenance. They have all this carbs coming in, their training's better, they have less stress hormones, and it's like, it is this whole like systemic effect of all these good things happening and less bad things happening. So that's a recovery diet. Now I don't go tell them, sweet, for the next 2 weeks, eat whatever you've been craving for the last 4 months, because they're gonna put it all back on again and feel like shit. So know that like when you're dieting, you guys need to plan for what happens after you diet. If you have a date, okay, the 30th is when I'm stopping my diet, that's not because you're going away the next day. You need to plan for this. So you need to say, if you've got a holiday coming up, I would advise you stop dieting maybe 2 weeks before that. Because when you go over there, you're just gonna just let it all loose and go nuts, which you don't want. So you need to increase calories up to maintenance very quick. And then from there, if you have time, you want to implement a reverse diet, which means just slowly adding calories back in. I don't have any golden rule for this. I would just say add, between 50 to 100 calories at a time and do it like every week or 2 weeks and see what your body weight's doing. If your body weight's maintaining, add a bit more in. If it starts to creep up, cut it back a bit. That's why it's trial and error here. There's no rules. You can't go online and figure this out. It's just trial and error. So that's why you guys need it. Your body, you have to figure out what works for you. Now, another big thing I want to touch on is the mentality. A lot of people neglect the mentality, the diet mentality, what it does to your brain and your way of thinking. And I know from me, from personal experience, if I diet for too long, I get I'm already obsessed with food. Like I love food already, but when I'm dieting, it's all I think about. So I remember I had, when I was probably 20, I was the leanest I've ever been. I would be at work, I used to work at a sup shop, and I would be at work scrolling, saving photos on my phone. Most kids my age would be saving photos of chicks. And I wasn't interested in that because my testosterone was through the floor. So I was saving photos of food. Literally, I was saving photos of on Instagram, just saving them of places I wanted to eat at, these cheat meals I wanted to do. And I thought, as soon as I finish my diet, I'm gonna go there. So that, at the time, was normal. I look back now and it's insane, but there's probably some of you out there that go, yeah, that's me. So you need to not cut that tie, but you need to really detach yourself from that obsession. And the way to do that is to give your body what it needs, is to nourish your body with food. So that's why you gotta break that mentality of, I need all of this right now. If you finish your diet, definitely treat yourself. Literally that night, go out and get whatever cheat meal you wanted, get dessert, tub of ice cream. I recommend Haagen-Dazs peanut butter crunch because it's the shit. And just treat yourself. Don't feel guilty about this stuff. You've worked hard, you've done it well, but that's it, okay? So don't carry that into the next day. Or maybe have the next day where you have just the breakfast and then you're back on the diet. You need still a routine going on here. You can't just wing it. Okay, so then maybe you have a rule for yourself where after 5 days, you're back in the diet, or after 3 days, you're back to normal again, and then you're prepping your meals, you're cooking again. And then on a weekend, you allow yourself a cheat meal. But you guys will find if you are increasing calories, by 500, say, you'll be pretty happy. After a few weeks, your body will catch up, your hormones will catch up, and you're like, you know what, I'm not starving. I can leave that bit of food there. I could never leave food. I would fill myself up till I felt sick. But then I increase a bit of calories and then I'm like, sweet, I can leave that. I'm happy not to eat this. I don't want that snack. I don't want that chocolate. It's weird how it works like that. So I want you guys to get there too. So I made a video on binge eating where I basically talked a little bit more about that and how to get over it, but it is very, very important. Don't neglect the mentality of this. And again, guys, with the way you're cooking, if you have more calories in your diet now, and even when you're dieting, you need to actually enjoy the food you cook, and you need to cook with very nutrient dense foods and enjoy it, enjoy the process. If you're eating bland food, you're gonna just crave bad food. So I really like to make sure I'm enjoying my daily diet, especially when you're coming out of it. Put things in, enjoy to eat healthy and enjoy. A lot of people say, how do you stick to a healthy diet? I hate it. And it's probably because they're eating dry chicken breast. It's figure out what foods you like. For me, I really like salmon. So straight away when I finish a diet, that comes straight back in. hits a lot of cravings. I like rice as well, same thing. Sushi, same. So figure out what foods you like. You guys might want sweet potato or oats or whatever you're really craving. Put that in immediately because you can hit those cravings and satisfy a lot of them. So it's very important. So I guess also too, like you need to eat the way you want. Now this is where If It Fits Your Macros is quite good because you can use it as a tool to not binge and still include things you like and not think, oh, the whole diet's wasted, you know, just because you had a slice of pizza. Sweet, eat the pizza, but don't eat 2 of them. Don't eat like 2 whole pizzas. Have a slice, you know what you're kind of getting in, try to intuitively track it. You know, don't obsess over it, but just be mindful of that. And you know, use If It Fits Your Macros to eat things like, you know, cereals and stuff like that, which you might not have during a dieting phase for whatever reason, but you need to just don't become obsessive with that too. There's a danger with that as well. I try to stick with my meal plan and every so often I'll be flexible and eat something that I like, but it is important to eat the foods that you do like because then you're adherent. You're no longer following a diet plan for 30 days to just be stupidly lean and then forget about it. Like all of these diets online that I see, like the 5-2, all of these things where it's extreme restriction and they give you a meal plan that's shit. And then of course you're gonna lose weight. I could tell you right now, hey guys, eat celery and water for 2 weeks and you'll lose body fat. You will lose a stupid amount of body fat, but the health problems will be insane. And I would never say that. I just said it, who cares? Forget about it. My point is that anybody can lose weight, but not everyone can keep it off. And not everybody can have a healthy relationship with food and do this for a long time. So like me now, I went through a phase where I finished up my cut and I was in a really bad place this time. Like you guys saw in my other video, I was in a bad place with like the mentality of it and it was a struggle. So I went overseas to America and I stayed lean over there. But it was because I was very mindful, I didn't want to blow out. So I didn't eat like a pig. I had 2 meals a day, which were like cooked, lean, went out for dinner and that was fine. I've done it in the past before when I went out for every meal of the day and just cooked myself. So you guys need to have a plan of attack for that. And I guess I'm just gonna keep repeating myself if I keep talking here. So that's all I wanted to take. To sum it all up, guys, dieting will cause your body to want to store body fat, okay? So you need to have a plan of attack for what happens after. Your body's not the same anymore. You will store more body fat probably around your midsection, I'd say. It's weird, your body fat distribution is different for everyone, but as soon as I finish a diet, I will store all of it in my midsection, whatever it is. And then my arms are still quite lean. It's not as evenly spread, so that's why you might freak out a little bit too. Secondly, you have to fix your mentality as well. I would implement a reverse diet or recovery diet to get your calories back up where they should be, get your body functioning the way it should be again, and just don't obsess over food again. And also too, guys, like I was saying, you need to learn how to enjoy your food, eat tasty food, treat yourself a little bit, but don't overdo it. Binging is sucks, but if you do go and binge, just don't feel guilty, because if you feel guilty, you're just gonna beat yourself up about it. You just think, okay, that's what happened, learn from it, and actually learn from it. Okay, so implement these things, have a plan of attack of how you're gonna go about it after a diet, and don't yo-yo diet. The binging and the yo-yo dieting is just gonna cause your metabolism to go all the way downhill, and you're just gonna get worse over time, which is not what we want, okay? So before we go, guys, once again, a quick plug to my own program, the Push-Pull Legs. In this, I haven't mentioned this a lot, but you will get a free fat loss Bible, which is an entire ebook on fat loss. A lot of the points covered in this video as well, but it is every topic I could think of to do with fat loss, and I just spat it out on PDF. So that is a fat loss ebook. If you guys want to get that for free, just hit the link in the description or go to massivefem.com, sign up, muscle gain, fat loss, and you'll get your program, diet plan, support, the works for the cheap price today. So otherwise, guys, that is it from me. I did hope you took something away from this video, and you definitely know what to do. Stay
I got a fresh cut in the denims, all these sexy jeans in my section, and slide into your DMs in the PM and the AM, then I slide into your feelings when you see just what I'm saying.
And these bitches won't.
I'm Bear Grylls, and with the help of Zac, I managed to lose 4 kilos of muscle mass. Lose 4 kilos. Don't use that.